The easiest way to identify if somebody is going to betray you or not is simply based on, are they strong or weak? On a long enough time frame, weakness will betray you. Every single time I have ever been too gracious to a weak person, I was betrayed. If you are friends with somebody weak, they will betray you. And it doesn't matter what they have a weakness for. If they have a weakness for gambling, they will steal your money. If they have a weakness for women, they'll try and sleep with your ex. If they have a physical weakness, then you cannot rely on them. So one of the best things about being rich is curating your life absolutely. And when you curate your life, by extension, you have to curate the people you spend time with. It's very difficult for you to keep the exact same people you currently spend time with and change your life. Because you either have to elevate these people along with you, many of which are not capable of elevation, or you would have to suppress certain qualities within these people, even if you believe it's for their own good, and you would be resented for it. So when you change your life, the people you spend time with has to change. But I will argue that when you become monumentally wealthy, and every single person who is tuning in right now, I believe has the potential to be extremely important and extremely wealthy. I believe in you, which means your mind is susceptible to my lessons. And I explain to you very openly and honestly how to win in the world, because I am a winner. When you are broke, you are forced to exist amongst people you don't want to exist amongst, to talk to people you do not particularly like, to work with people who do not agree with you. When you are poor, you are forced to interact. But when you become the A side of life, when you're at the absolute upper echelon, you can set the world on fire and ignore them. It doesn't matter. Your money is secure, your family is secure, your life is secure. It doesn't matter how mad people get at you, and it doesn't matter that you do not interact with these people. So I have some standards for who I talk to and why. And one of those standards is in relation to strength. And I'm gonna, from a position of authority, because I don't owe you any kind of explanation, explain to you why I do not like weak people. If you're weak and you're trying to get stronger, that's forgivable. But the people who remain weak or who pretend that physical strength is not important are the worst people. So we're going to talk about what I have in my experiences from weak people, what happens when you interact with weak people, and what I would predict for the future based on my previous experiences. And I hope you can all learn something about this, and hope you can learn something and curate your circle and curate your life accordingly. The simple explanation for why I have a disdain for weak people is that they are liars. And anybody inside of your internal circle should never be a liar. You can have people who disagree with you. You can have people who perhaps do not share your worldview, but they should at least be honest, because lying is treachery. And weak people are always lying to themselves. So how can you expect them to tell you the truth? Let's analyze that again. If somebody is constantly lying to themselves, how can you expect them to be honest with you? They lie because their entire worldview and all of their self-esteem is built on a lie. Lies are all they know. Weak people will pretend that strength is not important. This is a huge leap. This takes incredible courage. They say, we don't live in the caveman days. You're right, we don't. It doesn't matter, but it does matter, and we're going to discuss why it matters. But the fact that they will bend reality to avoid them having to put in some effort is actually a huge red flag. When I see somebody who is not strong and not interested in getting strong, I know that their word doesn't mean anything, because they've been lying to themselves their entire life. So I don't trust them. Another reason I do not trust them: the forces which are externally applied by your enemies and by life, meaning they are likely to betray you. If your friend is strong and he is dragged into a police interview, he is less likely to bend, break, or sell you out than if he was weak because a weak person is afraid of persecution. A weak person is afraid of consequences. So a weak person is more likely to bend and break in the scenario as opposed to a strong person. A strong person knows they can handle. They understand that being honorable will be rewarded karmically by God, and they can handle the consequences of doing that. If you can't handle the consequences of being honorable, how can you ever be expected to act honorably? So weak people are great when everything is great, but they are useless when times get hard. And ask yourself, do you want friends who are great when things are great? Or do you want friends who are there when times are hard? If your life's already going well and everything's going great, what do you need them for? You want to go drinking? You want to party? You want to laugh? You want to be a bunch of clowns and achieve very little? Because when times are going well, when everything is perfect, that's when you enjoy the hedonistic side of life. You don't grow as a person. Often you don't achieve so much. You're only achieving and growing as a person during the most difficult times in your life. When things are going perfectly, that's when it's all just a clown show. Do you want friends who are capable clowns, but are completely useless in a war? If you do, then perhaps you are that type of person, because birds of a feather flock together. If you're the kind of person who thinks it's okay to have friends which are only useful during the best times of your life for entertainment, and provide no utility during the worst times in your life, then perhaps you are one of those types of people. Another reason I don't like weak people is they're broadcasting to the world that they lack discipline. Because the great thing about strength is that it's actually very easy to achieve.
Because the great thing about strength is that it's actually very easy to achieve. It's not complicated. It doesn't require some elite level intelligence or perfect genetics. You don't have to be a genius. You just have to show up. You just have to stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending you're okay as you are. And do the damn work. Do you know how easy it is to get in shape? You eat less. You lift weights. You don't miss a day. You stay consistent. That's it. But weak people, they make excuses. Oh, I'm too tired. Oh, I have work. Oh, I have kids. Shut up. Everybody has problems. Everybody has a reason they could use as an excuse. Strong people don't. They still show up. That's why strength is so much more than just muscles. It's a reflection of your discipline, your priorities, your mindset. And here's the kicker. Weak people surround themselves with other weak people to make themselves feel better. It's a little pity party. A circle of mediocrity where nobody is ever challenged. Nobody's ever held accountable. You say you want to level up, you can't while you're stuck in that circle. If you want to be great, you need people around you who make you uncomfortable, who push you, who don't tolerate your bullshit. Because let me tell you something, I don't care what you're trying to build money. A legacy, a family, an empire, none of that can be done if the people around you are soft. Weak men can't protect anything. Weak men can't lead anything. Weak men can't create anything that lasts. And then people wonder why they lose everything, why their girl left, why they got fired, why they always feel anxious and miserable. It's because they've surrounded themselves with weakness and made it normal. You get what you tolerate, you normalize weakness, you get a weak life, period. And don't confuse kindness with weakness. There's nothing wrong with being a kind man, but you better be dangerous first. You better be strong enough to protect yourself and your people. Kindness without strength is just submission, and I'll never submit. Not to this world, not to excuses, not to fear. You think the world cares if you're tired? If you're sad? If you're overwhelmed? Number. The world will run you over if you let it. And that's why you need to be strong, because the weak get left behind. They get betrayed, they get crushed, and they blame everyone but themselves. You see, everything in this life comes down to your ability to endure. That's what separates the successful from the forgotten, the strong from the broken. Life is a war. Every day, every hour, you're being tested, and if you're too weak to stand tall in the fire, you will burn. But if you're strong enough, if you've built yourself into something relentless, you'll walk through that fire and come out sharper. That's what this is about. So when I look at someone and I see weakness, I already know everything I need to know. I see someone who won't be here in 5 years, someone who folds when pressure comes, someone who will betray you when things go south. I can't trust that. I won't trust that, and you shouldn't either. This is why I train. This is why I stay sharp. Not because I want abs or to impress people, but because I never want to be weak again. I never want to be that man who gets blindsided, who loses everything, who begs for help. I want to be the one who never falls, who never needs saving, who can carry others when they're too broken to walk. And you can be that man too. But not if you're soft, not if you keep hiding from your responsibilities, not if you keep pretending it's okay to be average. It's not okay. It never was. Every day you don't improve is a day you're falling behind. Someone else out there is hungrier than you. Someone else is grinding while you're making excuses. So what's the answer? Simple. You kill the weakness. You kill it with action, with pain, with repetition. You look in the mirror and you get brutally honest. You ask, what am I lying to myself about? And then you fix it. That's how you become powerful. That's how you become dangerous. That's how you become free. Because freedom doesn't come from luck. It comes from discipline. It comes from making hard decisions every single day. You think motivation will save you? It won't. Discipline is what gets the job done when motivation dies. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the engine. You want to be unstoppable? Stop waiting to feel like it. Stop waiting for inspiration. Just do it, even when it sucks, especially when it sucks, because that's where you grow. That's where you separate yourself from the masses. That's where you kill the weakness inside you. And understand, this strength isn't just about muscle. It's about mindset. It's about being unbreakable when life tries to break you. It's about being calm in chaos, confident in pressure, ruthless with your time, loyal to your mission. That's real strength. That's what it means to be a man. So stop tolerating weakness in yourself and in others. Start building the life you actually want. Start surrounding yourself with killers, winners, warriors, men who don't flinch, men who don't fold, men who live by principles, not feelings. That's how you win. That's how you protect your empire. That's how you become untouchable. And let me tell you something else, if you really want to level up, if you really want to dominate in life, you've got to stop chasing comfort. Comfort is the enemy. Weak men seek comfort. Strong men seek growth, and growth only comes through suffering. You think I became who I am because life was easy? Number. I became who I am because I suffered, and I embraced it. I didn't run from pain. I welcomed it. I invited it to my doorstep and said, let's dance. Because every rep in the gym, every business deal under pressure, every sleepless night grinding, every betrayal I endured, those weren't setbacks. They were my sharpening stone. They carved the beast you see today, and that same beast exists in you, but you're too soft to unleash it. Too scared of how the world will react. Too scared to cut off the people holding you back. Too scared to face the version of yourself you've been avoiding in the mirror. But hear this. The world does not care about your fear. It rewards results. Winners get paid, losers get ignored. That's how life works. And if that offends you, good. Because maybe being offended is the first step to waking up. Maybe pain is exactly what you need. Maybe it's time to stop being the man who hopes for a better life and start being the man who builds one. You want power? Earn it. You want respect? Demand it through action. You want freedom? Fight for it. This isn't a movie. No one's coming to save you. No one's handing you greatness. It's earned. Day by day, battle by battle. Discipline over comfort. Ruthlessness over excuses. So kill the weakness. Burn it out of your soul. Get stronger physically, mentally, spiritually, and then go build a life so powerful, so solid, so undeniable that even your enemies have to respect you. Because that's what it means to be a high-value man. Not just to win, but to become unquivable.